Hello. Hi, friends.
Hi.
It's another exciting time again. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Once again, it's Boy Innocent, your host. Remember, we have been dealing with this issue of attracting the right life partner. Wisdom steps to take in order to settle down. You see, it's a terrible thing to be lonely. Even God himself said it's not good for man to be alone. Jesus even cried out when his father left him alone. It's not a good thing at all. And that's why God has sent me to you on your way to help you to settle down this year. And I can assure you, if you will apply the things that we shall be teaching and studying together, you shall get married soonest. Please don't forget to invite me for the Ashibi. It's very important. Don't just forget it. Yes. It's important. No, you see, last time I raised a question and I asked a question. I said, people should come up with where do they go so that they can be seen. Because we talked about a lot of places, which is virtually the principle of positioning to be seen. Remember, if you must be seen for someone to propose, if no one sees you, no one will have the opportunity or the privilege of talking to you. This is true of men, just as it's true of women. True of women, just as it's true of men. Because sometimes when we talk about marriage, it looks as though we're just talking to women because it seems as though they are the one desperately in need of a husband. Not true. Men does. Men want. There are men all over the world praying for a wife, praying for someone to marry, praying for someone to settle down. And it is very important. You must know. Don't forget it. You must know that. Because sometimes it looks as if men are doing women favor. Especially in this part of our world, as if men are doing favor for the women. It's not true. You're not doing them favor. You are not complete. You're lonely. That's why you need a woman. She actually is coming to help you find fulfillment and make your life a colorful one. So you are not doing her a favor. You people are just doing yourselves favor. And that's the right thing. Yes, that's the right thing. Now that doesn't mean that creates arrogance in the heart of women or in the man, because men already have that arrogance because they call it a man's world. That in quote, that's not true. One lady said to me, this problem is because it's we that caused it, in the sense of it's men that caused it. He said, until women can go ahead and propose to men, well, this part of our world is not done that way. Or elsewhere it can. But there's nothing bad if a woman proposes. Well, I'm not suggesting that should become the culture, but the thing is still this. Men need women, and women need men. They just need each other. Adam was terribly lonely. He couldn't find company with animals. No matter how you keep a pet, no matter what's your hobby, no matter the hobby, no matter the work. Some say they are workaholics, they have just drowned themselves with work. You will still come to your place and you'll find out that you need a companion. That's just it. We are wired that way. We are made that way. And that's exactly the way it is. It's not like I'll choose to marry if no, not true. You're wired. At some point you will realize that you need a companion, whether you're a woman or a man. So women or ladies, don't think that men are doing you a favor. Take that off your mind, because some men come with that attitude, and just try to rub it off on women. I'm doing you a favor. No, you're not doing them a favor. In fact, if you're doing them a favor, why going to marry in the first place? You're not doing them a favor. The truth is this: man's life, man's world is incomplete until a woman comes in. That's just the point. And the woman's world is incomplete until a man is in. It is the way we are made. It's the way God wired us, and that's why we, get attracted to each other. That's why no matter what happens, it's just about us. All kinds of things about women, and because even in the advertisement industry, marketing, it has been explored very seriously to get men over to their side to buy something or the other. The same way, anyway, just that way. because we need each other. It's our world. It's the world that God made for us, and we need to go ahead and fulfill that divine plan and mandate. So last time I did ask a question: what places do you go that you have chances? There are chances for you to be seen. Somebody spoke to me and sent me a message on WhatsApp and said, well, I'm in Jamaica, and where do I go? They always shoot here and there. It's a very dangerous place. You don't just go out and hang out carelessly and all that. And same again, they don't even believe in marriage. They just believe in what we call the baby mamas and the whatever, the baby daddies, all that kind of stuff. Well, that people believe that is a perversion, is not exactly what God wants. Why do they want a baby? Why would someone want to go and get a woman and get her pregnant just to have a child? And why would a woman want to get pregnant for a man and just to have a baby? Still the same thing, because children were ordained to function in the family context, but it has to start with the companionship of both. In the first place, you don't just meet someone and then get them pregnant at one day and then get the baby and go away. There has to be some form of relationship. Just that things have been so distorted that a lot of people are afraid to be committed because, well, today's world values have been totally abused, changed, and altered. We have made our own world different from what God did it exactly, and that's the problem. So she was asking that question. People believe that. Now my response is this, and just what I have said now. There's nothing like that. People believe in this. No, they don't. They are afraid. It's more of like avoiding the reality, avoiding the truth. Because for you to go and get a woman pregnant and then take the baby, or a woman getting pregnant for a man just to nurse the baby, she's going to, be pregnant for 9 months, isn't it? And then have a child and begin to nurse the child. There are going to be moments and nights that she's going to be lonely. She will wish someone is there, to comfort her, to encourage her in the pain. The kind of things that happens to women when they get pregnant. I'm married. I understand it. I've been, I have kids. I've stay with my wife. And if it's not at the waist, it's somewhere there. If it's not there, she's weak in the morning. All that stuff that goes on, the body just goes. She doesn't understand her body, and she needs encouragement. She needs someone to stand by her. So people go through that. They go with someone, but just don't want to be committed to say, "This is my husband." No, it's just an aversion. It's just a perversion. It's just not the truth. Somehow they still stay with that company. How is it that some have, kids and they still date a man? What are you dating a man even though you have kids? Now you feel, okay, my child will be my companion, and basically, sometime in the future my child can take care of me about that kind of stuff. I've been in other countries where they think that way, especially women, when they feel that nobody is marrying me now, then I have to go get pregnant and then be a single mother. At least when I'm getting old, my child will take care of me. But we also have seen very clearly, especially in the West, you see that kids don't even remember their mom, because when they start getting to their teen, they also start going out to look for one. They desire to have a love, they desire to be loved, they desire to have someone to love, because these things are built in our nature. They find a girl, run around with a girl, or run around with a guy. They get into dating, and from there they are off. You find out that you will return to that lonely issue again, and it becomes very terrible, because when you start getting old, nobody to help you, nobody to help you scrub your back, nobody to encourage you, the cold, the winter, all kinds of things, all the whole stuff. Nobody to share your life experience, the pain and the challenge, even your victories, the good moments, all of that. Nobody, you can say, I'm committed to this person, someone is committed to me, someone I can come home and the person will help me, someone that can tell me sorry if I'm hurting and all that, someone I know that is there for me. No one. And you're getting old, and at those old age, nobody to look back with, to look at legacy, to share. This is how we all made it, and look back. You're just going to be in a terrible, lonely world. Do you really realize how old people feel when one of their spouse, especially those who are married, when one of their partners have gone on to be with the Lord, or are transited to glory? Do you really know how? Because it's just going to be in the whole wide world. They're going to be alone. Nobody to be on that bed with. Nobody to stay there. This is something they build their life. Now you say, no, I didn't, okay, because I didn't want to experience that, that's why I just don't want to avoid it and go my own. No, nature made it so that you will need someone, one way or the other. That's why even some have made business out of it. They create old people's home, and get them together and they stay and they're telling gist of all that, just entertain one another. All of that is just simply to solve the problem of loneliness, create companionship. So the lie of the devil and the lies that we have told ourselves in some certain societies, thinking that without I can live without a man or I can live without a woman, is a total lie, a big lie from hell. And I can assure you, ask those who are single, the single moms, and they are not finding it too beautiful, or even the single dad. It's not the way we are made. And again, it is also dangerous for the children, because most times they are open to abuse. Because another guy begins to date mama and begins to abuse her or begins to abuse him. Or rather, daddy begins to date another woman and that woman doesn't like the boy or the girl, and begins to abuse him. And at some point, he moves out of the house and left. And the child is open to all kinds of abuses, and that's why a lot of them have gone into drugs, doing drugs, all kinds of things, and running haywire, getting into some kind of juvenile things, and getting into a lot more trouble than they would have if there was a proper family that would have been their home, where they call their own. Someone would have affirmed them. This has also caused a lot of young people to have identity crisis, because the father figure is not there. In the case if it's a woman, a single mother, the father figure is not there. So you find out that this very child now is looking for a father. As a minister, I've ministered to some young lady. I can remember a particular case that happened sometime. I think they came to see me from one of the universities, and someone said that because of my teachings, and they came around, and I was actually ministering to her friend, but you know how God moves. After that, she said, "Oh, Pastor, man of God, why don't you pray for me?" And the Lord began to speak to me concerning her. The Lord gave me a word of knowledge, and I said to her, "Come, it seems to me that this, I had to say some things that were private." And when I said them, she broke down and started crying. And I said, "Well, you have lived wrong and you've been living such a lifestyle. But the Lord is telling me the reason why you're doing this, you miss your dad. You were looking for a dad. And because of that, you're dating sugar daddies. You're dating earthly men. Because had that wasn't there, she had been craving for that love of a dad, that love of a father." A young girl told me one time and said, I want to have a dad. My dad is not around. Well, sorry, the dad has gone to be with the Lord. He said, "I know God is my father here, but I want a physical dad." You see, so this drives a lot of young people into so many things, because that father figure is not there. And some of the young men, if they were boys, begin to have problem of identity crisis, because they are trained and raised by a woman, affirmed by a woman. There's a feminine part, and that begins to become dominant in them. Sometimes they have crisis, whether I'm a woman or a man. And this has brought some children into what we have today, the confusion of transgender, the confusion of gay, and all this stuff. I don't know, this is exactly what it is. Because it's not there. And if it is a man raising a girl, okay, or raising a boy, the man will just make that mama part that should be there, that mother part, that mother figure, that aspect that gives them that sharp, that heart that is soft, that tenderness, and learning how to manage a woman and all that, because they learn it from their mother how women should be and are treated and all that, and they also learn it from observing their father treat their mom, because these things are not there. Tomorrow they grow up not being a man. And most of our young men who are not married, probably they might be successful in career, but they're not man enough. Sometimes they are dodging, they're hiding things. They're not able to confront these issues because they don't have a clear picture of what a family should be. Maybe also sometimes some of them comes from a dysfunctional family, and so they don't want to have a repeat. And there are things they're going, an internal crisis in there. So there's an identity issue because of all these things. Now, I feel probably I'm going too far dealing with what happens in marriage, but it's okay. what is getting me into this is for us to understand that the issue that some people don't believe in marriage, but they believe in going to have kids and then have children as a baby daddy and baby mama, is a lie, is falsehood, is a deception. It's just simply deception. Is it dogs you are going to have children with? Is it not a human being that's going to get that? And even if you do artificial insemination, is it not your own? Is it your own? You want to have a child and have company. Why dating someone in the first place? But you don't want to be committed. You see, because there's another evil that society have created that have confused a lot of people, and that evil is the evil of self, glorifying self. So most people are taught that you are God to yourself. The first thing is you, or the last is you, the in between is you, everything is you. So everything has become so self-centered. People have become so self-centered, so selfish. You know, the Bible puts it this way: in the last days, many shall be lovers of self. So everything is self. So because of that, they fear the commitment where they are going to, be committed to love someone, be committed to put their spouse first. It's not just a man will put his wife first, but the woman will also put the husband first. And that's how it is designed to function. The moment we get to that point, we achieve the powerful harmony and a paradise on the earth. And because we have distorted all these things, so it's creating all these multiple confusions and keeping our single men and women just apart, and they are going through pain of loneliness, terrible loneliness, successful in their careers, but they come home, they are broken, they are just, they're just alone in the wide world, nobody to call their own, nobody to be committed to. Well, I'm sorry I went all this far, I'm sorry I'm touching this if that hurts you, but it's okay. What we're talking about is we want to solve this problem. And so my question again is, where do you go that people can see? Because until you are seen, nobody will propose to you. Now, some people, the other time, the last episode I tried to raise this, and some people have also asked me these questions. Someone asked this question and said, well, but if you're talking about what of workplace? Well, as I said last time, in some cases in your workplace, you are so consumed with work that you don't even have the real time to consider a lady to say, this will fit me for marriage. Because the pressure at work these days, especially within the target-driven, systems. So you are all out doing this and that and that. Well, it may not be with our system here where you can be working and answering phone, and you can even be doing it. You can leave your work, go to another person's table, chat for 1 hour. There's no eyebrows to it, all right? But in a place where people really work for 12 hours, 8 hours, and they are not talking to you, you're not taking calls, you're not on WhatsApp, you're not on social media, you are just working. At the end of that work, you're totally tired and fagged out. You just want to go home, you just want to get into your car, get home, and just get knocked out. Probably. You find out at the weekends, sometimes they even work weekends in order to, because of the bills they have to pay and all that. So much pressure is on you that you find little time to do what? So even at the workplace, when someone is talking to you, the first thing on your mind is not marriage. The first thing on your mind is what? Work. You're dealing with a client. And you wouldn't want to do in a manner that the client probably didn't even connect. Maybe you do some things, see if they can catch up, and they didn't connect, and they raise an eye. They complain because of customer care issue, that this lady seems she's not serious with her work. And then again, so you just want to do your work. And that, again, it could also be a problem. Now, I also agree that the workplace, people see, but again, like I said the last time, why are bankers, the people in the bank, why is it that they don't marry each other so much? There are so many singles in the banking system. I mean, in a particular bank, they are all in the same banking hall. Oftentimes, they don't marry. And they don't see each other. No, it's true. You see, you know why? The reason, because everybody's thinking what? And somehow the system tells them lies. Probably this girl is this. Maybe. Or maybe they're not seeing a beautiful thing they should see. And most of them are very beautiful, dressed elegantly, but then again, we'll look at that as we go on. Yeah, some say, and someone asks, okay, if it's not workplace, where exactly? Well, remember I said, where do you go to relax, to hang out, to wind up, and all that kind of stuff? What do you do? It is important. One lady told me the other time, I said it again, said, I play tennis, go to play tennis court, you go to tennis court, go play tennis, long tennis actually. And I said, well, how many single men are in that tennis club? Many of them are the ones that their wives have chased away from their house to go and shape them, put themselves in shape. Their stomach has gone out of, So unless you're looking for someone to date who is married, not someone to marry you, because someone need to see you and they need to see you again and again. It's possible someone see you today and pick it. That's possible. That's fun. That's fantastic. That's what we want. That's what we're praying for. But in some cases, someone needs to see you again, because you may see someone today just, scarcely and just get on doing what they do. But you don't have a time to look at that. Wow, man, this girl is so beautiful like this. I didn't even see you that day. And she treated me actually, but my mind was on something else. No, that's true. That's important. So you need to know. Sometimes, a place of relaxation is key. Because when people come up from work, when they come off work and they are relaxing, they just kind of, winding down, and maybe somebody is taking a drink and gist. At that time, the pressure of work is what? It's off the load. They're just relaxing, they're taking something, they're thinking, they're talking, the society talks, all the things that goes on, all of that stuff and all that. That could help. That could help. That could help. Another person suggested that idea. I said, well, while having this discussion, said, well, the church can be fine. I agree. But depends on the denomination you come from, because sometimes some denomination is so holy in the way they are liturgy, the way things are ordered and arranged. And in some traditional churches, the main line you find where they start, the priest is right there. Everybody's focused. You just have to be holy unto the Lord and the King. You have little or no time, very little minimal time to look around. And someone pointed out, what of the offering time? Well, in some ones I've seen in the places now, they no longer go for offering. They pass the offering basket around and you put in. So it's only when you go for communion, and at that time you are supposed to be holy, most holy unto the Lord to receive communion. Before you know it, you're gone. Now, this is another issue. I will suggest something. If you belong to this particular one, this denomination, I'm sure you are guessing right if you're in that one, where the two of them ever took, or some of the Orthodox ones, that kind of setting. I will suggest to you, why not become part of the welcoming ministers, part of the ushers and all that, because that will give you opportunity. Remember, what we are talking about is wisdom steps. Information doesn't really make much. It's only information you apply. Knowledge that you apply is what gives results. And wisdom is profitable unto direction. That's what the scripture said. You've got to get knowledge, get this information and act on it. So participate in things that can give people opportunity to do what? Are you here?
Yes.
Oh no. It's not be part of the work, because welcoming ministers, they all do all the time. They're standing at the door, they're arranging things. Are you with me? All that stuff, all that stuff. Now, again, remember what I said earlier. Two ways we marry. Someone has to do what? See you for themselves, or someone will recommend. Now, that's powerful. That's very important. Now, I've talked about church, so be involved in church activities. Of course, I have to encourage you as a believer, not just to get married. Again, the first priority, the first most intention is to serve God. But at the same time, remember what the Bible says. Oh, no. You see, people become so holy that they miss the right things. Let me tell you this. Get this. Very important. Get this. Listen, the scripture said, if you seek my kingdom and its righteousness, other things shall be what? You see, you have to have wisdom that even as you serve God, you do right things that will position you in a manner you shall be. Your motive is not only to be married. Your first priority is to serve God, but it's got to be wise in such a way that it will position you. Are you with me? Now, the question is this: are you involved in any service in your church? Some people just sneak in, sneak out. Sometimes they don't even go. I don't know how many are going to see you in your room. Oh no. Be involved in this. Be involved in the. We have people that sit maybe in the choir, but if your choir is the one that hides, they don't see. Then nobody's going to see you. Maybe a lector. Be involved in the things. Maybe in children ministry. Now, if you're in children ministry, the chances are, and the thing is that the people that will see you are married. Simple. But look at what the catch. Let me show you. If couples always come and say how you take care of kids, if there are brothers who have not married or sisters who have not married, they will think, I think I should suggest and recommend this. Look at how he takes care of kids. My kids are always fine. They will start dreaming and thinking of bringing you to their family. Look at how she takes care of my children. It's such an awesome thing. You are serving God, but you are creating an opportunity for people to see you. The key is serving. Create opportunity. Now, remember I've talked about a place of relaxation, okay, where people go relax and hang out and all that. That's fine, that's good. Some people say social functions. Yeah, it's very important. Go for weddings, go for social functions. These things are important. You have to go out to where people can see you. You've got intentionally. Don't say, no, it's my pride, my ego. No, you are missing it all. Keep down your pride. You've got to marry. It may be that your pride and ego is keeping you home. No, it's true. Keep it aside. You've got to marry. Guys, you've got to go out there and get these wonderful ladies all over there. Wow. It's serious. It's important, that. Social functions, attend weddings, attend social functions, things that are of sort, and I'll talk about something else probably in our next episode, because you've got to be at your best when you go, and we'll be talking about that, and powerful thing. Don't miss it. Don't miss the next episode, because we'll be dealing with something. It's not just somebody seeing you. They've got to see you and see something. It's a very powerful thing. You see, that is. Let that just provoke your thinking for next. I wouldn't just want to open it up right now until we come next time. But let me finish with this one. Now, I talked about social functions. I talked about the church and all of that. Somebody said, well, the guys are in clubs. No, I wouldn't recommend clubs, because if you go to clubs, the whole atmosphere is not going to be marriage. The whole atmosphere is going to be immorality and all kinds of things going on there. Again, if a guy marries you, he met you at a club, and you guys were clubbing and he marries you, well, one of the things I found out in life is that even the worst of loose and immoral person still wants to marry a faithful and virtuous person. I don't know how they get that. And that tells you simply, in our nature, we desire virtue. You see, the worst criminal that takes people's money and steals and fraud wants to preserve his own money. And once you entrust that cash in the hands of someone, he knows the money will be safe. Do you understand? So which means there is an inward understanding, love of virtue as the real thing in life. Okay, so I don't recommend club, because you said the singles are there. Well, unfortunately, married men also go club, which is confusing these days, because it seems to me, which is part of the problem we're having today in marriage. A lot of married people are married, but they are single. They are married, they still want to live single, and that's the confusion. We'll talk about sometime, maybe in a different program on married, for married people and all that. Because some people they wake up, they still live as singles. They're married, they still live as singles. They go out, they don't talk to their spouse. There's no discussion, there's no conversation, there's nothing. They just go with their opinion, just go on doing. They want to wake up, go when they want to go, and do what they want to do. That's not it. Okay. All right. Now, there are other platforms, that opportunities, platforms, places. Now, we live in a world today that there are two kinds of world, and then you have the physical site. This is your site. This is where your office is located. There's also my office is on this website. So the internet, the internet system, the internet world has also created another opportunity, and that could happen. Some people belong to forums, it's only ladies, and they are singles. Do you just understand that? And this person has been praying to marry you. With a work that locks her up in this fast society that probably your office is in the island and you are staying somewhere in the mainland, by 5 a.m. you're already on your way to big traffic to get to work, and then leave here about 5, 6 or 6, the close of work 7 in some cases, and stay in that traffic and reach 10 o'clock. Who is seeing you? When are they seeing you? You're already single because of that issue. And then the forum you belong to in the social media or some sort of forum is a forum of your singles in your former school. And those are girls only, not mixed up. You already condemn your life to yourself to a life of loneliness, totally secluded. Unfortunately, those single ones are also looking for someone, and unfortunately they may not even be looking at you to introduce you to your brothers. That is another thing I don't understand in the life of some people. You know this lady and you feel is your friend, and you're not introducing her to your brother, and you have a single brother who is your senior. You know what I think? You don't, maybe that your friend believes you're not good enough. It's just the truth. So, you know, the digital world, the internet world has made it possible that we can belong to forums. Oh wow, somebody said to me the other time from US, and she said to me, oh, do you mean I should go to dating sites? Wow, okay, fine, dating site. He said, but the people that are dating sites are very much younger, you know, that's 17, 18, 19. I'm already 30 something. Okay. The question is the problem of age. Well, we'll look at that in another episode when we shall be answering this question. But for now, do you even belong to one at all? People are on Instagram, you know, someone says a photo album, and it just, their group is only singles, and single girls for that matter, only single boys for that matter. There's no mission, there's no opportunity for somebody to see you when you've done the makeup, look, you know, so wonderful, so glorious, that kind of black. You just look at it and say, wow. You know, these days that makeup is very powerful. You know, when they put foundation and then put the finishing, everything is okay, it's perfect. Now that's fine, that's fine. You need to do that. You have to enhance your beauty because somebody said, no, I don't like makeup. That's okay if that suits you and if that is okay, if you're fine that way. But it may be nice you enhance it. A little touch here and there can be helpful because it's good. You know why? Especially if you're a lady, because men start with their eyes. They need to see. They see nothing there. Now, I'm going to deal with this in another episode because most ladies have missed it. They have given guys the wrong seed, the wrong picture, and the guys have run for the wrong message, the wrong signal, and not for marriage, because you've got to show someone, I am for marriage, I'm not looking for, you know, for a sex partner. I'm not looking for that. Because the time comes you want to settle down, you don't want to have someone who exploits you and all that kind of stuff. No, you just want to have someone who is committed to you. Love is much more than all that stuff. Oh wow, yeah. So again, we're talking about, you know, platforms. Which platform are you in? Which platform do you belong to? There are church platforms that we can see. There are, you know, groups that, you know, that's why it's good. It's good. Yeah. Put out the pictures there, put out there, do those updates. People go there, people search, people see. Some people say, well, do people marry on social media and Facebook and all that? Fine. People are married. But at least you don't say yes until you see the person. At least you guys can start chatting until you see the person. But don't get stupid in the chat, and it's true. We will not talk about all these ones. But the first thing is this. My point is someone has to do what? See you. Someone has to see you. It's important that someone sees you. If nobody sees you, nobody's going to talk to you about. They don't even know you exist. No matter how beautiful you are. I like to say this. And do a little emphasis on it. You know, where we read last time, again, that is the book of Ruth, chapter number 2. The scripture says that Boaz came and Ruth was working, and Boaz saw her. Now remember, it was not Boaz who saw her first. And let me read it, because I like to read it for you, because I also want you to be mindful that this is a Christian program, and we'll always look at the scriptures. I just don't want it to be a motivational teaching as such that God is not made reference to, and all glory and honor has to go to God, and that's my goal. It's God that told me He wants to solve these problems, and He showed it to me where it's in the Bible. It's also good I show it to you that it is in the scriptures, and you have to fall in love with your Bible, read it. There's a lot of wisdom in the Word of God that you can receive and apply them and see solutions to whatever the challenge is. Okay, now if you turn with me to Ruth chapter number 2, I'll be reading from verse 1, and we'll read a little. Now look at what it says. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, Let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, Go, my daughter. And she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her heart was to light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem, and said unto the reapers, The Lord be with you. And they answered him, The Lord bless thee. Then said Boaz unto his servants that was set over the reapers, Whose damsel is this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, Is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheep. So she came and had continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, Hearest thou not, my daughter, go not to glean in another field, neither go from hence, but abide here fast by my name. Verse 7 is powerful. Notice that Boaz wasn't the first person that saw Ruth. It was his staff that saw Ruth. Do you understand that? The MD just came around and saw her and began to ask. Let me say this to you. At all times, somebody also is seeing you. Especially if you position yourself. Someone is seeing you. People take notice. People observe people. People do see. And when they do, they might not have someone to marry you. They might not be the one in position to marry you. But a day shall come when someone will ask questions. Now, this is why you have to be at your best at all times. But we'll talk about that. I said not today's episode. But it's important. You see, Boaz came and asked the question and said, Who is that girl? Who is that damsel? That beautiful girl. Look at her. And they began to give reports. She said she's been walking. She does that much bitch girl. You see, they already have her story. You see, your story is all over. It's everywhere. People are seeing you. And that's why if you are running wild, sorry, people do know. There's a lot of gossip in town. You see, it's very important. They gave a positive report. They said she's been walking from morning till evening, just only a little while that she had dressed. You know what that says to Boaz? You know, Boaz owns this farming business. She was a big, Bible says he was a wealthy guy. Okay? So obviously, a wealthy man wouldn't want to marry a lazy woman. Anybody that loves work, that built something meaningful through just right, hard work, okay? He wouldn't want to marry a lazy woman, because you see, the attitude of work is in him. He would, even if the woman doesn't work as hard as him, even though the woman may not be a workaholic, even though the woman may not be, but at least you see someone who is committed to doing what? Because every time a man wants to marry, a woman wants to marry, there's a picture in their what? in their mind, in their head, what they're thinking. Now sometimes those pictures might be wrong, sometimes they might be right, but at least there are basic things they are looking out for. And so this guy comes around, I said, who's that girl? And these people that have been watching this girl all along, now started giving is a resume. A resume. They began to point out, she's this, she's that, this is where she comes from. Who told them? This is her aunt, her mother-in-law, she's staying with her, she's staying in so place. She came from so place, she's an Igbo, she's an Edo, she's this, she's that. Are you here? They gave a resume, straight. She's very hardworking. No, I'm telling you, boss, you know, that girl is pretty but, okay? She's quite hardworking, just very smart. She has even worked much harder than these our own ladies, you know. Again, understand that it seems to me Boaz was not asking the ladies, he was asking the guys. This was men talk. Oh, you didn't hear me? The guys were busy gisting. This men's gossip. No, women think it's only them that gossip. The men gossip. If you're a wild girl, you're finished. The guys will talk about it, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry, don't bother. You can get born again quickly. Go. And then start repairing your life. You think they talk. They talk among themselves. If they are playing tennis and courts, you pass by. Those don't mind. Men talk, don't talk. They have a way to talk. They have a way to pass it around. They have a way to share their booties and their spoils. You don't know. You think they don't. They do. They do. That's it. Boaz was talking with guys. These men talk. They were talking amongst themselves. And they said, well, but you see, that girl is a smart girl, it's a brilliant girl. You know, it's such a very humble girl. You know, he comes from a very good family, good background. He's quite a very homely person. Look at her, she's been quite there, she's been very hard work. She has a good job, she has a good earning job. You know, she's doing pretty well. But did you know the most about it? She's just a very decent girl. Oh, wow. It got the guy's interest. I say it got the guy's, you know, as I'm talking now, someone is going to be interested in you. I'm telling you. Your gossip is positive. Oh, I am serious. For someone I prophesy to you, is your time. That's why God is saying the gossip that has been going on in town about is positive. It's going to turn out to your good. Someone is coming. Did you realize that after Boaz listening to that discussion, Boaz went to meet Ruth? Boaz. Oh my God, oh my God. Let me say to someone is in you're about to marry your boss. You just take this word from me and write to me, this is what happened. You know, go to the forum, the Bring My page, all the forums, we have them in Bring My page in Facebook, YouTube, Bring My, whatever platforms. They're single interact, you know, just write to me. You know, go to my personal page, write to me. Write to me, it will get to me, because this is what is going to happen. Young one, you're going to marry your boss. There are secretaries, the MD, the boss will fool around but will never marry. You know why? Because they know that she's cheap. They know that she doesn't have character. They understand. You know, there's something different about work and that thing, because every person that wants to marry has a picture in their mind. Boaz is a wealthy guy. Boaz has money. He understands what it means for a woman. The moment they told him, these guys were specific, the moment they told him that this girl had been working since morning till now, only they said why, it resonated with him, it connected, it clicked. Because you know, someone doesn't want to build empire to leave it to a waste, to someone who is. No. I don't even pray for one. I won't even counsel for one. I won't advise. As a matter of God, I won't. Not honestly. In fact, remember, God said in the beginning, let the woman, I will make him a suitable helpmate. Because the man was given an assignment, the woman is coming to work. This idea of laziness, you know, from my culture, I came from the culture, the Igbo culture, sometimes ago they used to call their women Oriaku, which means someone have come to eat the wealth, squander the wealth. Now to eat the wealth, not squander. And now after a while they found out that the women were squandering their wealth. They now changed it and call it Odosiaku, which means the one that manages, that keeps the wealth. Wisdom proved them wrong. It taught them a lesson. They changed it. Because you see, the idea of a woman being lazy, idle, doing nothing. Now, you may say, oh, let my wife just train my kids, do this. Okay, fine. Even training kids is a very hard work. To manage children, especially if you have them 2, 3, 4. And God bless you, their boys. Because that's another work. It was a very energetic. They run around, turn the whole house upside down. You'll be trying to keep up with them, try to raise them godly, do all that. That in itself can take your energy. Cook, make the house and all that. You say, wow, I have a career. No, that's fine. We'll get that. You have a career. You should have a chef. That's fine. It's good to have a chef. But still, you still have to keep your eyes. Because most people have just become lazy. Their career takes a toll on them, makes a great demand on them. That's fine. That's what I agree. But sometimes, because they are not good at homemaking and looking at their kids, their nannies have raised the children according to the nanny's view of life. Abuse them. Abuse them. Cousins abusing them. All kinds of things going. So you sacrifice the life of these children that God has given you at the altar of career. Well, alright. I don't want to get that here. I'm not talking to singles. I'm not talking to married people. Yeah, but it's in school. It's nice we point out this so that we don't run into such mistakes. So, once again, what platforms are you in? If you are in a platform that is only singles and they are ladies, only guys, maybe you might need to start admitting ladies in those forums or guys in that forum. It's not bad. It's not bad. Find other groups there that create room and opportunity for someone to see you. Again, remember what I said? At all times, people have opportunity of seeing you. When you make this opportunity, someone is seeing you. They're observing you. And as someone that is observing you is going to talk about you. People are talking about you. People do talk. There's a gossip in town concerning you. It could be positive, it could be negative. It all depends on you. But if it's positive, it's going to earn you a relationship. And that's my prayer for you. Because that's what happened. Didn't you see it? It's just right there in the scriptures. Boaz came. If you see, the Bible says he came from Bethlehem. In other words, just like an MD who wasn't around, or a boss who probably had another place, or maybe traveled abroad, or that kind of stuff. But he came to check one of his branches and all that. And then he's looking at one of the staff doing work and all that. And this guy hasn't married, or probably, in those days they were going to marry one or two, but this time it's just one. And then he asked the question, who is that guy? Who is that? He probably would have asked the manager, are you with me? Or probably the senior staff. Who is that? He said, wow, he's our new staff. Very bright, very smart. Before you say anything, the girl is not such a committed person. She has added a lot of value to our company. Really? You made in a short period? Wow, that record is groundbreaking. It's off the roof. It's off the chart record. She's such a committed person, smart. You know, the most part of it is very godly. She just turns one of this committed Christian, devout person, and very decent. Wow. That guy probably wasn't talking to Boaz, to the MD, just to marry you. But you see, in their mind, he's giving a resume. He's just running your CV. And he's adding that the guy is watching with his own what? Are you with me? He's watching with his eyes. And probably when you're walking, and now listen, the interesting part of it is that the girl was unaware that they were discussing her. That's why pretense is dangerous. I'll be showing you in subsequent episodes how to know a good woman or a good man. Very powerful secrets and keys. Powerful secrets. How to determine in the short space of time. 2 times, 3 times you meet a person, you know whether it's a good man or a good woman. So you don't go and waste your time and energy. Oh man, wonderful. It will blow your mind. I mean it. I should see how to determine this person is a good person. You don't need to waste your time. Don't say I need to take 6 months. After you fool around 6 months, then you come. No, you don't need all that. You just don't need that. Because you see, you want to get married, you don't want to play around. Do you want? No, that's not what you want. That's not why we're doing this. Time for playing around, guys. God is over. Praise God. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Yeah. Someone is talking about you now. Whether you are aware or you are not aware. Interestingly, the girl was on her way. In other words, she didn't put it up. She didn't just pretend. She didn't just put up that. And she didn't know these guys have been taking record. And that's how people have been taking record about you and all that and all that. You know, that guy has an attitude. The way she doesn't greet people. This kind of person, people try, if you marry her, your brothers will not come to the house, so nobody will reach her house. Because she's so high-handed. You understand? So high-handed. She loves people and all that. They will talk because that's how you are. You know what I like to say to you, and this is my advice. Again, I said it earlier, and I want to advise you and repeat it so that you get it. Be your best at all times. It's important. It's wonderful. It's nice having this discussion with you, and I do appreciate your time. You know, taking our time to listen to what we're saying. I'm sure it's going to help you. I'm sure it's going to lift you. I'm sure it's going to take you to the next level. You know, and change your status, and that's why God, you know, sent me on your way. Again, take out time, you know, to listen to this over and over again, and in all platforms and the pages. Now, this is my request to you. To all that, all you've listened, if you believe it has helped you, if you think you've gotten something, this is what I like you to do. 5 things to help, because you need to spread it. You know what I found out? When you get involved in doing God's things, you find out that you solve your own problem. It's critically important. It's a principle that doesn't fail. It will never fail. When you get involved in serving God, actually in helping other people, in solving people's problems, in trying to, you know, spread the good word of God, you will find your own solution as well. This is critical. It's key. Don't forget it. For it says, seek ye the kingdom of God and his what? Righteousness, and all of that things shall be added on to you. Now, what does that mean? Look at, let's translate into a practical steps, how it can work. Number 1, if you those pages, like the page. Yeah, go ahead and like the page. Yes, like the page, because that will create more awareness. Like the page. If you go there, if you listen to it, like it. And number 2, I like to start it. I wouldn't want to put it last. Share. That is your working. That's your service. That's your service. Share it in your forums. You are helping someone. I'm telling you, you probably will find out that your friend, your colleague will listen to it and give it to the brother. The brother listens to it. Say, well, because he said, this person showed me this. This person in this forum. They trace that link. Probably they will see. That will be your opportunity to be seen. Share it. Be the one sharing the good word. Translate that Bible verse into practical things. Oh my goodness. Did you know that Ruth went to work so that she could also take care of Naomi? You see, we need to get this right. Most people, most Christian ladies are busy praying and fasting, lacking in practical wisdom. That's what the Lord said to me. They are not doing the things they ought to do in order to get the answers manifest rather. So, go ahead and do what? Share it in your forums. Share it in all the groups you belong to. Tell them, someone needs to hear this and change. Maybe you also be a link to help your friend to get married. That one you've been praying for, you feel she's older and you feel for her. You know, you have that pity. And because you have that love and compassion, that will also unlock your own miracle. It's important. Share it. Go ahead and do what? And share it. Like it, share it. What else did the next thing? Oh no, comment. I like your comment. Comment, write your comments. Send me questions, whatever, comment, write your comments, no problem. Just go ahead, write the comments. And then again, subscribe. Subscribe is important. Subscribe to the channel, let it come to you. These things are important. Share it, subscribe, comment, and do what? Like is very important. It's very key. Now, our next episode, we shall be talking about, you see, when they were talking to Boaz concerning Ruth, when these men were gossiping, Boaz was what? There's something he saw. There is something he saw that either confirmed what they were saying, or it could have been what? disconfirmed it. He would have been like, no, it's not true. Is it not this person I'm looking at? There is something he saw. Remember again, after that discussion, Boaz went to meet Ruth. Someone was about to be approached. Someone is coming on your way. It's amazing. Again, I would like to take our time to thank you. It's an amazing time, you being around and all that. I just pray that the next time we see, the same time, 6 p.m., just join us live wherever you are. Share to your friends, call your friends, let them join the conversation wherever they are. All over the world is live stream. Just be part of it. You can watch the video later on over and over, but just tell them it's happening at this time. Let them come on. Let them also send their questions. Let them also send the comments, whatever. Write to me. I will respond to them in my next episode, and then we'll begin to also discuss other key, important secrets, wisdom steps that will help you to settle down this year. Remember, it is God's mind, it is God's will. God is still in the business of connecting people for you to get married. Thank you, and thank you again.
Tell it all. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still won't be enough.